Well, a happy belated Thanksgiving to everybody. And you know what I'm not thankful for is the 2021-2022 Celtics as they continue to be a very, very frustrating, disappointing team. Um, uh, this loss to me, I know they've had some bad losses where they've blown, 18-point leads, but to fall down to a team like the Spurs that aren't very good this year. Obviously, they have Greg Popovich as their coach. We all know everything about Greg Popovich. It's not a good Spurs team this year. It doesn't matter who's coaching them. They're not very good this year. Maybe they'll be good in a couple of years. They have some interesting young players. Right now, in late November of 2021, the San Antonio Spurs are a bad basketball team. And the Celtics fell down 25 points to a bad basketball team in the first half and then had to claw back to go up in this game only to end the game on the wrong end of a 12 to nothing run and lose to a bad Spurs team. You know, falling behind by 25 in the first half is bad enough, and that's bad. I mean, that's really bad. That's pathetically bad. And you don't get credit for clawing all the way back, fighting all the way back to take the lead because you shouldn't have been down that much in the first place against this type of team. So you don't get credit for coming back, and you certainly shouldn't get any credit and don't get any credit if you don't win the game. And the Celtics didn't win the game. They blew the game, actually. They had a 7-point lead with about 5 minutes to go, and they managed to lose the game. So I don't want to see any great effort by the Celtics. What grit to come back from this? No, they pissed their pants in this game. They crapped the bed in this game. Whatever bodily fluid analogy you want to use that's a negative is what the Celtics did tonight. And to do that against a good team is one thing. To that against a really bad team like the Spurs are is a completely different story. And I've seen way too many people, and this has been like I feel like a theme this season is me criticizing the media and the fans covering the team because it's just all sunshines and lollipops where they win, lose, look like crap, look fantastic. It's the same reaction. Make this league, oh, what grit they came back. That it showed a lot of heart. Well, if it showed a lot of heart to come back, then what did it show to fall down by 25? Because I don't want to hear all their shots weren't going in. You don't fall down by 25 points in the first half of a basketball game to a bad team just because your shots aren't going in. You go down that many points to a bad team because you yourself are a bad team, or you aren't playing hard, or your coach isn't doing a good job, and you don't have the right mix of players. That's why you fall down 25. I don't want to hear this bullshit about make miss league, oh, they're getting good looks, whatever. Stop. And I don't want to hear, oh, they showed a lot of heart. Stop. They didn't show any heart. They've dug themselves into a deep hole. They dug themselves out only to dig themselves back into that same hole. That's the all of those things are the hallmark of a bad team, not a good team, not a team with grit, not a team with heart, not a team that's well organized or well coached or has leadership. And you're hearing all of this the other week about, oh, this team is back, compass needle pointing up, it's trending up. The Celtics are looking good. Won a couple straight at home. They look at who they beat. They beat the Cavaliers, the Bucks without Giannis and Middleton, the Rockets, the Thunder, and then they played a real team, a really good team in the Nets, and they got annihilated. And so, conspiracy theory tonight, the Celtics saw what they really look like against a good team, which is the same Nets team that they played the playoffs last year and got annihilated in, just sans Kyrie Irving this time, and they got annihilated again. So, if I'm Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown and Marcus Smart or Al Horford are guys who've been on teams that have been competitive and good in the past, they know how this team stacks up and how they measure up against other good teams in the league and what their ceiling is. And so I feel like part of the reason they were so flat to come out is a hangover from that Nets game where they're like, well, we're just not really that good. So what's the point? And I think the Celtics have a lot of that in them. It's not just oh, what's the point? We're not going to try hard. I'm going to, just fill up the stat sheet. Don't care if we win, lose, or whatever. But it's also going into games and thinking, well, we can fall down by a lot of points and come back and win. Well, this Celtics team has not proven that at all. They've proven that they can blow big leads. They've proven that they can blow leads early, late, middle of the game, whenever. They could fall down by a million points to a good team, a bad team, mediocre team. This Celtics team is capable of losing any type of game to any type of team. And so all those people were thinking the Celtics had righted the ship. Look at who they played. They were not playing good teams. you don't get credit, a lot of credit and like good vibes and start to feel like your stock is improving by beating up on the crappy teams of the NBA. That's a mirage. That's not what this team actually is or was. And anybody who's fooled by that hasn't watched much basketball or is just deluding themselves. Unfortunately, I think it's the latter because I do think Celtics fans watch a lot of the games, and I think the media covers the team and watches the games too. But everybody's just so in the bag for this team all the time that they can't see what's right in front of them. And it's frustrating because the more people go along with these losses and make excuses for these terrible losses like tonight, the less incentivized the players are, or the team, or management, or whoever is to make that bold move that they need to make. I'd rather have the team be terrible and at least have a plan to, tank, rebuild, whatever, than to do this, which is to delude yourselves into thinking that you're a contender when you're not even close to being a contender. They just it makes sense when you're trying to be bad when you lose games. When you're trying to be good and you're not actually good and you think you're good and you're losing games, that's when I get really frustrated. And I think Celtics fans should be more frustrated. And I think the media should call the team out more on it. I don't get it. But tonight was just another perfect example of just a series of really poor play and effort by the Celtics, and then the end result being a loss, and yet people still on social media saying great effort, not great effort, bad effort, bad effort. I know I sound like I'm scolding a dog, but it was not good. It was not good. Let's get in the box score if we can get the hell out of here and stop talking about this game because it sucked. um Final score: Spurs win 96-88. The Celtics fall back to 500, 10-10. Spurs are now 5-13. That's right. They suck and you lost to them. Starters for the Celtics tonight: Tatum, Horford, Smart, Schroeder, Brown. Tatum, not great in the first half, played a lot better in the second half. 24 points, 12 rebounds, 2 assists, a steal on 40 minutes. Not great shooting the ball, 9 of 23 from the floor, 2 of 7 from three. Need more of that Tatum from a week ago. Al Horford, probably his worst game of the season, honestly. He was really bad tonight. 25 minutes for Big Al, 2 of 8 from the floor, 0 of 3 from three, 5 rebounds, 1 assist, and 1 block, and 4 points for Al. He was a minus 29, which is god awful. Definitely his worst game of the season for the Celtics by far. Marcus Smart, fine tonight. Not great, not bad. Did make some good hustle plays, but when does he not do that at least? 33 minutes for Marcus, 6 of 14 from the floor, 0 of 3 from three. 7 rebounds, 8 assists, a steal, a block, and 13 points for Marcus. Dennis Schroeder, 38 minutes, 8 points, 3 of 14 from the floor, 1 of 5 from three, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. Not great from Schroeder. And Jaylen Brown was up and down too. 27 minutes, 6 of 16 from the floor, 3 of 7 from three, 16 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists. And the bench was fine tonight. Jabari Parker, 5 points in 5 minutes. Grant Williams, 27 minutes, 7 points, 5 rebounds. Okay. Aaron Nesmith, 10 minutes. Should have played a little bit more. I thought he was helping, 5 points for him. Ennis Cantor, 18 minutes, 1 of 5 from the floor, 3 points. And Romeo Langford, 17 minutes, 3 points. So frustrating game. Back at it against Toronto. I see you there, Leonard. Thanks. Appreciate you guys. And we'll talk to you later. I'm just, let's move on from this game. See ya.